Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
Here we go. It's all happening.
It's all happening. Oh my God.
I know.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to what I think is the Trying to Be Better with Joel and
It
Steve
could be.
podcast. I am in new territory. I'm at my office at my
Joel's
work
at his
right now.
office. He could get bombarded with eager young minds wanting
could.
his attention at any given moment.
Or eager colleagues wanting
Anything.
right? It's show week, man, and it's like,
Oh, good God. Well, thank you for, I know that you were kind of shoehorning this into your schedule. So,
yeah, and I think that it's going to be week to week on how we just full disclosure to our dedicated audience.
Right.
Steve and I may have to pivot when we record, so that'll change the vibe. But I go into rehearsals.
I think the vibe's pretty constant.
It is, man. Well,
Yeah.
You and I worked on the vibe for a while before we started doing this. But yeah, anyway, needless to say, it's show week, dude, and it's peak show week vibes right now because like I kind of had
You went shithouse.
well, I did go
Kinda.
shithouse the other day, like,
Yeah, okay.
and I've got some clarity on that, but I almost I had a moment with a coworker today where I was like, "Oh, cool, I can't do it. Fine, I'm going to walk, a half mile over to the other space to do the thing that I was going to do." And he was like, he had to follow me out and was like, "Hey, dude, you can just do it this way." And I'm like, "Okay." Like I kind of threw a baby fit.
Oh, uh-huh.
Like emotions are high. Also, we haven't had an audience in our space
Oh,
since the last show I directed, which was February of 2020.
that's a while. That's a minute.
We haven't had and that's there's all kinds of feels.
Uh-huh.
I'm having all kinds of, this is not, I mean, we'll get into it, but anyway, I'm all over the place. It's show week, baby. It's show week.
Love it.
I do have a pizza waiting for me at Pizza Hut as soon as we stop recording. I'm very excited about that.
So do we need to make this like a short one? Is this a
No,
short stuff
no.
episode?
Well, it's going to be ready at 6:45. That's
Okay.
all I know.
Okay, good. All right. Well, we got time then. That's good.
Yeah.
We can get into it. Well, it's your show week and it's my go live week. So we're in a very similar
Go live. Oh, a project at work.
the project we've been planning for 2 years and working earnestly on for 9 months goes live on Monday. And so it's
Dude, we are both in a similar we're going to go live. It's show week. We're going live. We're doing it live.
yeah, it's there's a lot happening in my professional life right now. It's my days are, in a word, jam packed. I guess that's 2 words, but
I think it's hyphenated. I think it's one word.
Sure, one word. But yeah, it's been the days are just like spinning plates. There's like a dozen plates on the sticks, and and sometimes plates fall and they break, and yeah, and I get to remain calm and professional through all of that.
How's that going? Because
it's actually going pretty well.
Really?
It's actually going pretty well because it goes back to the subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, one of the guys that works with me, he gets very twisted up about hypotheticals, things that might happen and things that have happened in the past, to the point of paralyzation. And I
get that.
And I'll have to just say how about there's this one email that needs to be responded to. Can you just respond to that email?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all they need is a yes or a no. So how about we just tell them yes, and then we'll take the next step. And I've had to be that guy, which it turns out I'm pretty decent at doing.
Can you, my issue is I totally identify with your coworker there, because that's what I've been doing in my head about 8 billion things, about this show, about the next show I'm directing, about the show after that, and the show I'm in that I'm acting in at the Lead Center in spring. So I'd kind of a breakdown on Saturday. I had a full-on panic attack, crying in the car with my wife because I'm like, I can't do all this. And my body started, having panic because it was preparing me for everything falling apart, which is good. I mean, that's why anxiety exists, I guess. Like, hey,
Sure.
watch out for the tiger that's going to kill you.
Right.
But it's not good when you're driving and you're just like, I can't feel all this right now, and it's completely irrational, and it's 3, 4, 5 months ahead of now.
Right.
And
But
I want to learn how to tell myself, hey man, let's do the next indicated right at. Like I've had to
Right.
go back to some real basic stuff
right.
lately.
I did a meditation yesterday with Josh Corda
Mm-hmm.
about resilience and getting back to times when we've persevered.
Dude, I am halfway through that talk, and I'm
Yeah.
just about. And that's I always have to pause it because I don't want to do the sit while
Right.
I'm driving.
Right.
What
I
is-
did the sit last night while I was waiting for a thing and my
Mhm.
car. So I just did that for a half hour, and it's really great because it really
Maybe-
helped. Like, oh, right. Like I've been through this before. This is just
Yes.
variations on a theme. It's just a lot of people that want a lot of things, and so you
I
just prioritize, figure
I
out where
have-
the really important things are, figure out what I can handle right now.
dude, I've been through what I'm currently stressed out about. I've been through
So many
hundreds of
times.
times.
Right.
So many times.
So nothing's fucked here, dude.
It's not. I mean, everybody's emotions are kind of through the roof, and I feel like I could have done XYZ a little better, but that's learning and growth. And
Oh my
plus, like,
God.
we're all a little. I mean, I'm sure it's around there too. We're all a little. Things
Oh.
are turned to 10 a little bit. you know?
11.
Yeah.
I have a
This one goes to 11.
I have a coworker that we've been working a lot on this thing the last 2 or 3 days that isn't
Mhm.
working very well, and it's been kind of frustrating. And she said, as I was like leaving her office, she's looked at me, she goes, namaste. Right. and she
right.
did the hands and everything. And I looked at her, I said, you know that what that really means is go fuck yourself. and she just started laughing.
That's good.
And so now every time we see each other in the hall, we do namaste.
Namaste.
Go fuck yourself. That's what it really means. It's little stuff like that, just little moments, like inside jokes, little moments of levity
Yes.
that have kind of kept everybody from, just turning into spontaneously combusting from the stress.
Yes. I'm at a point. Yeah, I'm going to use that. Like the zero fucks that I have to give. See
Exactly.
the zero fucks that you have to give.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Like, lay thine eyes upon the field in which I grow my fucks and
Yes.
see that it is barren.
But just like the I need to re-listen to that book or reread it. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Great.
'Cause
Well, so that
I've been
was
giving
saying-
fucks. I've been giving a fuck about a lot of stuff.
But it's like-
I've been catching myself giving fucks about stuff that I have no business giving fucks.
like if I show up and I do the best that I can with what I've got, with the information that I have in any given moment, that's all I can do.
Mhm.
And I do that. That's my part of the bargain, right? I don't get to like not give a fuck and just like not do the things. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
Like if
Yes.
I'm actually showing up and I'm actually working really hard and I'm trying to do the best that I can, if it
Yeah.
ain't good enough, I guess somebody else can do the job.
Yeah, I am getting to a point with that too about this. And I was talking to our mutual friend Kemper about this and somebody else, maybe Kirsten. I was like, at a certain point, I realize, okay, so this job that I currently do is something I've really kind of always wanted to do and work towards.
Yeah.
And I felt weird guilt about complaining about some of it because I felt like I wasn't allowed to do that or be kind of like whatever, like kind of be like, well, if it ain't perfect, I guess somebody else can have it, but I'm at that point now where I'm kind of feeling that, not like screw it, but there is kind of a freedom in saying, I'm not gonna allow myself to take years off my life fretting about this.
No.
It's stressful enough just the time. Like, I'm going to be on campus until 9 p.m. for the next month or so, like it's stressful in and of itself. But do I need to add more by trying to suss out what everybody feels about me and through my own lens of self-centeredness?
What anybody thinks about you, Joel, is none of your business.
And it's also like I'm filtering it through what I'm imagining they think about me through my own view of myself. It's like already.
Dude. Oh my God, dude.
The window is already muddy, And I'm like, I'm gonna.
You're filtering what you think their perception of you is through your perception of what they think your perception of you is.
So
How's that meditation practice working out for you?
oh, you know what it is. You know what the real deal is. And I've been listening to. I just finished this set of talks by Pema Chodron. From she was at Naropa in Boulder, and it's all about the bodhisattva mind, and about like you've got to clear and take care of your mind, and that is so I've been working with that. The interesting byproduct of that is that if you try to clear, you have to feel all the things. So I'm like, my feelings are, I've got big feelings right now, Steve.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I got to get out of my head and into my, not that I'm into my feelings, but I'm like, I got to feel this stuff because otherwise the cycle of thought.
Yeah, you got to process the feeling or let
Yeah.
the feeling. Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of where my meditation is right now, is like allowing all of that stuff to come through.
Right.
The fear, the
Yeah.
anxiety, the joy, the gratitude, the all of it, and that's where I'm at. So, it's like, I feel like kind of a live wire.
Well, that's probably okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's more authentic.
I mean, it's better than going through all of that totally numb to it.
Right. Or just seeing it and stuffing it and making it, screaming at the top of my lungs on my way home every day.
Yeah. Or at your students.
Or at my wife. Oh, yeah.
Or at your colleague that's annoying or whatever.
Yep.
Like, why the fuck? That thing.
Yeah.
Like throwing stuff and.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh-huh.
I could definitely see how that could happen.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't want that. So
I'm reading this book right now. I don't even know if I'm going to finish it. It's called Easy Riders and Raging Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of it's a tell all about Hollywood during this time. Francis Ford Coppola, Brian De Palma, Dennis Hopper, all the people that like from like Easy Rider on through the 70s and early 80s. Right. And really what it's supposed to be kind of like titillating and, kind of behind the whatever curtain view of like how those things went down and what those people were really like. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, it makes me just not like any of them. Like really seriously, like Dennis Hopper is a piece of shit.
Well,
at least back in the like people were afraid that they would kill him, that he would try to kill them, like his wife and stuff like. And I'm like,
well,
and so I mean just
unbridled Hollywood at that time, and then you mix in a bunch of cocaine and alcohol.
Well, then that's really what it all kind of comes back to cocaine and and a bunch of people that were like struggling and really living hand to mouth, then all of a sudden becoming multimillionaires with a ton of power. Right. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there are parts of it that are kind of interesting. Mostly, I was interested in like the shooting of Apocalypse Now, which was just by all accounts a complete shit show from soup to nuts. Yeah, when I think about that documentary, Hearts of Darkness or whatever. I remember seeing that way before I should have. And I was like, that seems like really not a way that I never want to be in a movie that's like that. Like, total
like
nightmare.
Really not good.
No, not good. Yeah. Anyway, there was a point in there somewhere.
Hollywood, craziness.
I don't know.
Toxic working environments. I don't know.
Kind of, yeah. And just kind of, I don't know. I'm about halfway through it. And I don't even know if I'm going to bother finishing it because I've kind of lost interest.
Well, that's interesting too. Because one thing that kind of was led up to that kind of, I don't know, panic attack I had on Saturday was that one of the technicians on film, TV, and theater, the technicians, not guild, union, IATSE, the International Artists Stage something technicians something, I don't know. Mm-hmm. They're about to strike or are striking. So they're because they, film and TV and theater hours have been, wild and completely unbridled and still they don't get proper days off. They don't get, time between wrapping for the day and being called, and they have, so people are sharing all these stories about horrible, awful working environments on the shows that you and I love and watch,
Right.
And it just got me thinking, like, this is not I don't have to worry about that, right? But there's
Right.
there's a certain amount of there's effort and time away from people that you love and care about that I'm going to get really vulnerable right now. I've never liked that about the work that I do, right?
Sure.
And I'm not comparing myself to some Hollywood, production assistant that has to be there until 3 a.m. every day. But it's there is considerable amount of time that I don't get to hang out with Kirsten. It's been
Mm-hmm.
a year and a half of pandemic not shut down, but we've spent a ton of time together, which I love.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now that's kind of, we're going to get
Back
back
to the grind.
I'm grieving.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of what I'm afraid. So it's anyway, the reason I bring up the union is that's sort of oh my God, everybody's, I shouldn't be doing this. And everybody, my life's going to be ruined. It's no, dude, come back to what's really right in front of you. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was I just,
Well, that's I think
12
of
different things.
yeah, I mean, you as a theater professor, you keep some weird hours at times,
Mm-hmm.
but then you also don't work in the summer.
I forget that.
Right. You have 3 months off. So I'm sorry, what?
No, that's why I'm glad we're talking about this, because this is a sober buddy phone call that I needed right now anyway.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
So
Right.
yeah, you're right. I get tons of time.
I mean, I get I'm very much looking forward to I've got my work life is not going to calm down really until a week before Christmas if I'm lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And because we got on top of this other thing, we got 2 other things going on top of my job, extra projects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's nuts right now, and all of those things are going to be done by the middle of December.
Whoa.
And
Yeah.
so this has been going on since the middle of December. So it's just been the first 6 months were pretty reasonable,
Mhm.
oh, this is kind of manageable, but the last 2 months and especially the last month have just been, I'm triple booked in meetings, and I still have to get all of my actual regular day job work done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh
Right?
yeah, because it's not
And
like
I
you
just
can put all that aside.
Finally was able to hire a new person to kind of just go run blocker and take care of kind of just menial tasks that are just time consuming and tedious but need to get done. Unfortunately, we're kind of in that place where she's actually creating more work. You know what I'm saying? Just tons of questions and lots of hand holding and occasionally fixing things that she's broken. And also have to be very careful. Maybe don't go do that right now.
Right.
Maybe don't go do that right now.
Do some stuff, but don't do too much stuff to make more stuff happen. Yeah.
But fundamentally, she's been really great, and I'm very happy that we hired her, and we're glad that she's there. But it's definitely like in 6 months, she's going to be killing it.
Right.
Hell, she'll probably be bored. But whatever, that's another problem. We'll deal with that then.
How has your spiritual practice helped you with all of this? Do you think
I would have either quit or gotten fired?
Yeah.
Or just, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because you know me for a long time. The thing that's going to get me fired is my mouth. Right. Yeah. And so far that hasn't been a case. I mean, I've had a couple talks with my boss, because there have been a couple of heated exchanges with some people that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
But fortunately, I've come out of those not owing amends.
Yeah.
And not having to, I came out the good guy.
Yeah.
Which is a new dynamic,
Yeah. And
I just stood my ground and said no. And or you're being this is not a professional conversation. I'm walking away from this right now.
I feel like the clarity to know when that is the right choice is really awesome. I also have had to kind of say some of those things today. And I don't feel as much guilt for saying it as I've said, as I felt before,
this is, once
there's resiliency and I don't know, there's
it's kind of back to that equanimity thing.
Right.
This is, I have my boundary. I have my marching orders. right? These are the things that need to get done. This is where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And not all things are perfect. Like some of the things that I'm responsible for aren't working perfectly,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also not our top priority as an organization.
Right.
And as long as I keep my boss in the loop about like, hey, here's where these things are at, and here's why they're there, and here's why I've made them a lower priority because I have all these other things going on. She's like, oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everybody else thinks is what everybody else thinks. It does not matter.
It doesn't. It
does not matter. It only matters what my boss thinks. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it. And Holly even said one time, she's like, how did she say it? You can't trust everybody. Just go in and do your job. Like it kind of comes back to like, especially at the level that I'm at organizationally, I'm not there to make friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be people's buddy. That's out. I can be professional, I can be polite, and I can be nice. And some people I will develop relationships with just by working with them,
Right.
But for the rank and file people, like I say, hi, how you doing? I remember their names, you know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I like them.
Yeah.
But I'm not there to be anybody's buddy,
Yeah.
And
there's a healthy boundary, like a healthy work boundary there that I could employ, and I'm going to steal from you because it's, it's for me, the opposite of equanimity is that when I start getting really worried about what everybody's thinking of me, what I tend to do is either people please or buddy up or be that guy that's like, hey, how's it going? And chummy. And it's like, that's fine. But at the same time, like that comes from a place of fear rather than a place of joy and generosity. If I can't do it from a place of joy and generosity, then it can be really gnarly because I'm, what if they don't look at me right? Then poor, it's like, that's just a really unhealthy.
And it's back to the subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Yeah. Right.
Like, what do I care what that person thinks of me?
Right.
And it's not, I mean, that sounds kind of dickish, but it's like, that's kind of the way it has to be.
Well, you invoked the word equanimity, and what I love about those phrases in an equanimity meditation is, my, what is it? The one that is like, other people's happiness or suffering is the result of their experience with the events of their life, not from the events themselves. And no matter what I wish for them, their experience is their experience, no matter what I wish for them.
Right.
And I can wish them wellness and ease and peace, or for them to like me, but that has no bearing on, their experience, their reactions to life is based on their experience with it.
Right. You said something that's important. I work for, let's say round numbers, 250 employees.
Yeah.
Right. 2 of them I'm directly accountable to, like the CEO and my boss. Right. And then there's like 20 managers, directors, kind of all on that same level, department heads, whatever. Those are my peers. So that leaves about 225 people that I am responsible to make sure that their technical systems are functional as good as they can be. Right. And me and my small team work very hard every day to ensure that that's happening. Right. And Microsoft being Microsoft and ones and zeros being ones and zeros, sometimes things don't work exactly perfectly, Right. And systems are just systems, and people get frustrated. Like, for example, well, this is slower than my home computer. It's like, yeah, because there's literally 1,000 more things going on in the background. So it's not your home computer and whatever,
Right.
And I've had, I have those conversations more, I've gotten pretty good at it over the years,
Yeah. Right.
But and the other thing is IT is kind of like the police. Nobody wants them around unless they actually have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Right. And frankly, IT people, generally speaking, aren't the most popular people in the building. Right. And so
unless
it just kind of
magically fix your stuff or bring you a new printer. Yeah. So they are the most popular people in the building when that happens.
But we kind of have a thick skin about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like walking through the halls, knowing that people are bitching about the stuff we work our asses off to keep running every day.
Right.
And sometimes at night and sometimes on weekends.
Yeah.
And well, my thing's kind of slow. Like, yeah, that's true. Okay, I gotta go.
My browser's weird.
I don't know. I tried to get to a thing yesterday and it wouldn't work. Did you submit a ticket? Well, no. Okay, bye. You just walk off. Maybe next time submit a ticket.
I am much more sensitive to the ticket submitting lifestyle now that I know you.
I mean, that's serious. It's like I had a thing 2 weeks ago and it wasn't working right.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do about that? I actually today, another director was saying, well, is this going to work on Monday? I looked at her and said, let me get my crystal ball out. How do you want me to answer that question? And she just kind of, I'm serious. How do you want me to answer that question? And she had no response.
Oh, that's good.
Is your car going to start on Monday? Is your car going to start? Maybe it will. Probably. I mean, I literally got it in my front pocket of my pants and pulled out my invisible crystal ball and said, is this going to work on Monday?
Oh no. You should carry around a magic 8-ball.
But that was the ridiculousness of the question.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I know. I just think it's funny.
She wanted to guarantee that this is going to work on Monday, which is the go live day. And I'm like,
you know what? Some people really want, I mean, yeah, you should go on the whole diatribe about, well, the fabric of the universe is based on uncertainty. And
right.
That's the only way we have this plane of existence is because of a countless chain reaction of uncertain events. So I mean, it's probable, but also if it doesn't, it's because that's part of the fabric of the universe and you're just in the flow of that. So also submit a ticket.
Just in the flow of that. Yeah. Yeah. But that was, I had it.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing that game.
I just need to, I mean, there's a lot of layers, but I'm realizing some old reasons why I work in the theater at all. And I'm working through that.
Because you don't have to deal with that shit.
Well, no, I mean, I do have to deal with that.
That's true. You do, don't you?
In different ways, right?
That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have deadlines and you have departments and you have people
but also like, why do I feel so emotionally attached to make sure the show comes together? Oh, because when you were raised in the community theater, when your parents got divorced, and if we don't keep the theater together, your parents are going to get divorced. A bullshit old stories. Like I was telling Kirsten about that.
If I fail at my project, my dad's going to think less of me.
Yeah. Like I do that. I'm like, where is this? Why am I so wrapped up in like, oh my God, if I have to go to rehearsal until 9:30 at night, Kirsten's going to leave me because the theater happens. And that's what happened.
I think she might actually love you because of the theater partially.
Dude, yes. We started dating and I was in rehearsals. Right. And I was in rehearsals with somebody who was like in love with me, because we had to make out every night. And I was like, no, I'm not interested in you. I'm actually dating this other amazing person. So if she can fall in love with me under those circumstances, I'm sure she'd be okay if I do my fucking job that pays the more. I don't know, dude. I don't. But it's like this. I'm like getting. It's so weird.
If I do my job,
because I do my job. This is what I signed up for. So anyway, right here on my little cork board that I bought to try to be more organized, I have this, and it says "Work with Joy." Like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that. It's really.
I know you are.
I'm really trying to work with that.
That goes back to are you familiar with the term ikigai?
Ikigai, yes.
Ikigai, which is like to find your life's purpose.
Mm-hmm. It's like a Japanese, I'm going to Google it, but it's like a Japanese
I read a book on it a year or two ago. It's just this little short book. But that's like if my ikigai for the day or whatever, which it should, I mean, I think it's more of like your life's core purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just to make sure that people can do their jobs. My days go pretty well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the great Wikipedia is telling me it means it's Japanese for a reason for being. It's a Japanese concept referring to something that gives a person a sense of purpose, a reason for living. Uh-huh. It is often compared to similar concepts such as mission, dream, vision, and meaning of life.
Sure.
It's like, I've also heard it described as like the thing that you are passionate about and the thing that you can do to, feed yourself, and the thing that you're really good at, like that Venn diagram center is your ikigai.
Ikigai. Yeah. And so like we've talked about this, like this job that I find myself in now, it really fits into that really well.
Same.
Right. And so it's like, and if I can remind myself of that, like this is like, I'm putting really, I mean, what I would really rather do is just go play guitar in the actual Rolling Stones, but they, you know, they don't need me. But for my vocation or whatever, like this is pretty well suited to what I'm seem to be good at.
Yeah.
And so like, and if I can remind myself of that as I'm driving to work and as I'm walking the door, like this is what I'm good at. And people, for the most part, think that I'm good at it. And I'm getting paid pretty decently to do it. It's like, wow, okay. I guess I'll make this my purpose for the day.
Yeah. We're on the same page there, because this is exactly what I've always wanted to do. But and I've brought this up before, but I'm really dealing with that, some of the old bullshit stories that go on, and like, how do I work with that? Because I mean, yes, work is going to sometimes be work and stressful and anxiety inducing, but I want to have a better sense of joy and not fun, but just like
joy.
Yeah, joy about my work. And I'll be honest, there's been times, because of my own actions or inactions at different jobs or this one, that I've dreaded even going in, and it's like anxiety inducing, even though I'm really fucking good at it. You know what I mean? And there's parts of it I'm not good at. That's a whole other topic. Like there's parts of my jobs that I've had to accept that I'm like, I'm not going to give too much of a fuck about that, because I'm really not that good at it. I'll do my best, but I'm going to really focus on the other stuff. But I don't want to dread it anymore, man. Not that I have been, but I'm working towards, the goal is to not dread my life.
Well, I got to tell you, recently I went back and I listened to part of our first podcast.
Oh, wow.
Just to see how it stood up.
Sure.
Now the production quality is lacking a little bit. Same as it ever was, but there's a part of it about 25 minutes in where you start talking about like how much you love your job. So I was going to remind you of that.
So I got to go back to the beginning. I should hear myself say that.
Yeah, you should. About 25 minutes, you start talking about it.
Is this the intro episode or the?
Yeah. Why are we doing this?
All right.
Because I wanted to see like, have we strayed? Like, well, what's there to stray from?
Yeah, this is, we're making the path as we go, really.
Right. But yeah, I didn't listen to all of it, but I listened to some of it. And I'm like, man, we're doing all right.
I'm so glad we did it at this time though, man. Because like I said, I would have just kind of hid in my office and like rocked back and forth until my pizza was ready. And then I would have taken my large pizza to the park here in Crete and just like eaten it by myself, listening to something.
Your sad large pizza. Your lonely
the whole
pizza.
Thing. My lonely, sad, tear-soaked pizza.
Right. Yeah. Pizza Hut, man, is that the best they got in Crete?
That's all they got. That's it. I mean,
you talk to Elaine, man. Maybe they could start making pizza at her place.
Oh, like a brick fire, wood fire pizza,
or really anything that's actually made of food.
Well, here's the thing: they have a great Mexican place.
Yeah, I know. I love
Christina's
that place.
Is good. I could have gone there. I think they're open on Wednesday. I could have gone there. And they also have De Leon's. I can always go there. But
sure,
at Subway, could do Subway again.
No, don't do that.
But I'm like, you know what? It's been a minute since I've had a pizza.
Little pizza slut.
Yeah. They have a drive-up window, so I called it in. So I'm just gonna drive up.
Get your pizza. I worked at Pizza Hut for a little while. I lived in Lake Tahoe, and like this, I mean, there are vegetables technically, but it's not really food.
No, it's not.
It's like warm. It's like hot Doritos. It's basically, it's the same company,
Yeah, that's true. Or Taco Bell.
Right. Yeah, it's all the same shit.
Oh man.
Now I'm not saying I don't like a little Pizza Hut every now and again, but I know what it is when I'm eating it.
Yeah. What's the best pizza you've ever had? What's your favorite pizza?
Good God, my favorite pizza literally ever.
Yeah.
Like all time.
All time.
Well, there was a place in Lake Tahoe called New York Pizza.
Oh, nice.
It was the bomb.
Because
It was so good.
California doesn't have its own style of pizza, so they
Right.
just kind of
Well, they have like pizza with shit like cauliflower on it.
right.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. And
Right.
that pizza I had this summer at Lou Malnati's in Chicago is really good.
Yeah.
I do love me
So
some
good.
Giordano's if I want to get really shitty, you know.
Yeah, dude.
Uh-huh.
I think that
But you know what, man? I like Valentino's pizza.
Dude, Kirsten and I did that the other night. We're like,
Huh?
screw it, we're getting Val's, and it's
Huh?
been a while. And oh
It tasted
boy,
great,
howdy.
didn't it?
It's so you can't have it a lot because the sauce is so sweet.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of
But
temper that.
it's you know what, if you know what it is going in, which is that it's its own unique thing.
Yeah,
Don't expect it to compare it to anything else. It's just Valentino's pizza.
yeah, man.
I love it. I think it's great.
I'd probably have to go with some Chicago deep dish.
Yeah,
Although
that pizza we
was-
had Minsky's was really good.
Minsky's is great.
Yep.
We love you, Minsky's.
Yeah.
I also think, the great thing about New York City is that in Manhattan or anywhere really, you can get a really good slice of pizza fresh.
Yeah,
at
right now.
3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. And you fold it up and shove it in your face hole.
Yeah, on a paper plate with a bunch of Parmesan cheese.
Love
and
it. Yeah.
Coke. Yeah.
That's great. Remember, do you remember Home Team Pizza?
No.
You might have even been in Lincoln then. It used to be downtown, and you could get this pizza the size of, that was just huge. I don't know how
Like
big
a
it was.
rug?
Yeah, basically. And it was basically, it was super thin. It was just a lot of grease and a little sauce and some cheese for like, I don't know, $9 or $10 or something. It was cheap and shitty and awesome.
Well, in college, it was Ramos for us because they would deliver like, I don't know, as late as like 2, 3.
Yeah. Home Team was the same way. Home Team, yeah. Anyway,
Home Team.
where the fuck are we talking about pizza? Oh, Pizza Hut. I digressed
Yeah.
into giving you a hard time.
Oh yeah, because I was going to eat my tear soaked pizza in my car
pizza.
without this conversation.
Oh my gosh.
It was super helpful, man, because like I was kind of in my head, and
Well, I was glad that we didn't have a guest this week because I haven't seen you for a while, except for briefly here and there.
yeah, but we can't really be ourselves around those people,
No,
We have to be.
put on the facade. Well, wouldn't it great to talk to Terry?
Oh man, I feel like the way that he described, I went back and listened to that, and the way that he described, like, what have you learned about working on cars and as it relates to life? It's just like, oh, that's how I related it. Like how to take care of a car.
Yeah.
Like you got to take care of it. You got to protect it. You got to keep it clean. You got to keep it running. Like
take care of it.
Yeah, be mindful and take care of all the moving parts, because it's,
If you value it, maintain it.
Yeah. And there's so many things that applies to. And plus, he's just, I don't know, the cool things he gets to do.
I know.
Like
right.
that he kind of, one of the things that was really trippy was that he was like, I could be a mechanic, but I don't want to be just any mechanic. I want to work on cool stuff. I want to do something. What did he say? I want it to be special.
Well,
And
that's one of the things I've always appreciated about Terry is that that's how he is about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Just like with the, the young people's stuff that he started. It's like, I don't want this to be normal or average. Like I want people to be able to do cool stuff. And that's how all that started.
Yeah, I wanted it to be special. I wanted to work on something special. I wanted to find my way and not just, be run of the mill, whatever,
Right. And he's done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. He's always been, Terry's a Zen master, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would never call himself that, but
I agree. And also, like you said on the car conversation, he has a way of cutting through and not. I remember we were in line for food at Eat the Big Pig one year, and he just started. I don't know what we were talking about. Something, I don't know, something, and he just cut through. Like there were 2 or 3 of us just standing in line, and he just nailed all of us to a wall with such a delight on his face.
Oh yeah, he's good at that too.
And it's like he is a Zen master in that way because he's not cognizant of it. He's not trying to do that.
No, he just is.
It's not from any place of pretense. It's just from
100% not.
Honesty.
Yeah. And just decency and honesty and caring about people. And also, he likes a good jab every once in a while too,
Sure.
just to kind of get you squared up a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that was really cool. I'm glad we were able to get him on.
Me too. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like we kind of did it.
I think we did too, man. This is great.
Yeah, it's really great. It's really nice to be able to do this. I was coming in hot for sure, and
Yeah. We're two dudes doing the best we can with really cool jobs and really cool life experience and
yeah, and cool wives.
cool wives. Shout out to my wife, and I know that you could do the same, but she has heard all of this and more in a lot of different ways about, just how I get balled up, or frankly, I'll just call it what it is, anxiety. And she is very loving and graceful. And I'm also grateful for my sponsor and my therapist.
Right.
And I'm thankful for you.
Well, yeah. Same. But I mean,
yeah.
I think with the sponsor and the therapist, I think that's really important because you can't lay all this shit on your spouse.
Oh, no.
Nope.
One thing I want to recommend to you and all of our dozens of listeners is the documentary on Netflix called My Octopus Teacher.
My Octopus Teacher.
It's a documentary. It's about this guy who is kind of fed up with his job and as a filmmaker, and then he starts diving in this part of near his house in South Africa, and he literally befriends an octopus and documents it as a way to come back to the work.
Okay.
And it is beautiful.
Is this on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, on My Octopus Teacher. I recommend everybody.
Octopi are amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're amazing. They're way better. They're way cooler than humans.
They're and what he observes and films is really never, because he goes and hangs out with this octopus every day for about a year.
Wow, that's amazing.
Goes back to the same place with the same octopus and creates this bond.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm in.
It's super cool.
It sounds super cool.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
Can kids watch it?
Kids can definitely watch it. I mean, it's animals in the wild, but yes, they can definitely watch it.
All right. I'm in. Octopus Teacher. What else you been listening to?
I've gotten, what have I? I'm back on Pearl Jam because they played some shows recently. I'm kind of back listening to their record. I'm still listening to Fish.
Good for you.
I'm still going down the Fish train. I sent the post that they made on Instagram to Kirsten because they're gonna do a 3 or 4 night run at MSG. I'm like right after Christmas. I'm like, should we do it?
Oh boy, that's funny. Should, man. That'd be Fish's New Year's runs are intense.
Yeah.
What about you? Them Ween boys are doing a run of shows this weekend. I might pony up and get one of the nights.
Oh, the live stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool to watch.
Them Ween boys.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I've been listening to some Grateful Dead lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, weird, huh? Well, God, that the group thread we got going with Jack and Dave is like,
it's a fire hose, man. I'll be honest, I don't listen to all of them.
Well, I don't either, but Jack piqued my interest about the other one he posted today from 94.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
From 94?
Yeah, the band, the 94 was such a conundrum. Well, like all the years were, but like they finally, I might take a little heat for saying this, but they finally sounded good. Like the drums sounded big and Phil's bass sounded amazing and the guitars sounded great. And Vince, well, the keyboards were kind of a struggle, but like I loved the sound of the band in 94. I loved the way the drums sound. They had a different sound guy and the drums sound amazing. I
feel like all of that stuff in the 90s, it really sparkled in a way. Like it just sounded really clean and I don't know why.
Well, there's a few reasons for that. But like Dan Healy, the longtime sound guy, he got fired in December of 94 or 93. So when they came back in 94, it was a different sound guy who revamped everything. And the drums finally like they just sound bigger and better.
Yeah, right.
And but Garcia is starting to struggle pretty hard at that time too. So there's the conundrum. But that fall run of shows in Boston is some of my favorite. I mean, some of it's kind of not super awesome. But when Garcia is awake and able to play, and I mean that kind of, giving him a hard time, but also like he literally had carpal tunnel syndrome and he had diabetes and he couldn't feel his fucking fingertips. It's hard to play the guitar under those circumstances, Yep. And but when he was still Jerry Garcia, know.
Right.
And
there's still a lot of muscle memory there too, I'm sure.
Totally. Yeah. And I think he relied on that a lot towards the end. But anyway, I got Jack's like, this one's pretty good. I'm like, all right, I'll check that out.
You should put it at the end.
Maybe I will. Yeah, I'll have to download it. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty
good.
It's not bad. Phil's on point. Anyway, yeah.
All right, dude.
Cool.
Well, I gotta go set some props I forgot about.
Go set your props and
then pick up my pizza.
Eat your lonely pizza, which will hopefully be less lonely now.
It'll be a lot less lonely thanks to you. And I will. I won't eat it crying in my car. I'll bring it back to my office and chill for a little bit.
That sounds good. Chilling in the office is better than crying in your car.
Trust me, I know. That's
true, buddy. Me too. All right, love you, man.
Love you.
All right, have a good night.
Told me upon scrutiny that my back might need protection. I told Althea that treachery was tearing me limb from limb. Don't mean who I'm born, 7 days easy gin. Child all grown, but with the inch of grace, you may be a cloud in the very underground, or just another pretty face. You may be the fate of a field, steaming that perchance dream. To the point of recklessness, self-centered in the extreme. Nobody messing with you but you. Your friends are getting most concerned. Who's with the truth? Maybe it's your fight. Baby, I hope you don't get hurt. When the smoke has cleared, she said, that's what she said. you told me, okay, that's fine. You know now I'm trying to catch you. Can't talk to you without talking to me. We're guilty of the same old thing. Thinking a lot about less and less, and forgetting about the love we bring.
Don't forget, toot your hooter.